heart just like nonstop.
Oh, I know. It was so funny. My boyfriend and I went to walk around South today, and I was like, wait, we have to get Jenny's. It's Biden's favorite ice cream place. Like, manifest positivity.
Yeah,
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, this is intense, man. And I literally worry that if somehow Biden pulls it off, what ramifications are going to happen? What kind of riots?
Oh, there's gonna be riots either way. Like there's just gonna be craziness.
My wife and I were talking about that. It's like 50-50. It's crazy, like with all these states. And I'm sitting here being like, after all that Trump is said and done, how can you still support that? But
oh, my family is like, my sister, my parents, they all voted for Trump. And I was like,
and it splits families apart. It's sad. But
they're all in California though, so I was kind of like, whatever. Your vote doesn't matter.
My wife and I, that's funny. My wife and I just moved here from California a year and a half ago.
We're in California.
LA.
We're in LA.
Glendale and Chino Hills.
Okay, cool. My uncle lives in Glendale, and I'm from Dana Point, to be specific.
Okay, we're not from there. We lived there for 2 years. I'm originally from Florida, and my wife is New Jersey.
Awesome. 2 states that are always made fun of.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, Florida, we're the worst. Like
Florida's the worst. I don't want to be a dick, but
the rap of that show, and my wife is like, it's actually New York with that, and she prides herself saying New Jersey is actually number 2 in terms of education in the whole country. Florida, we just suck.
Yeah, Florida's just. I don't know.
Florida, I think it's gonna go to Trump.
It looks that way, but Texas is pretty close.
Texas, oh my God. If he wins Texas, that's it. He's going to win.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Anyways,
yeah,
so we have this negotiation to do.
It's going to be so hard to like focus, but yeah, we got
I'm going to close it because I'm just going to get so distracted.
Yeah, I had made my Zoom full screen so I can't see anything else. And then I like have to like put my phone away.
Can't believe we have to do this tonight, but we are.
I know. Do you have to work tomorrow?
I don't. I'm just doing this class this sub-semester, so.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, okay. Wednesdays are my day. I don't have work, so tomorrow my boyfriend and I are gonna just hang out, do it. Realize we're gonna be up late tonight, and.
Oh yeah.
Emotions are running high.
So, I guess we have to go until 8:50.
Yeah, and my thing is like most negotiations, like you know what you want out of it.
This one's open.
This one's very open. This one's just more conversational.
So I don't know how it's going to go that long when the last one we had was like 30 minutes and there was much more to talk about, but we'll see.
Oh, I literally in the last one I was like, Justin, I need you to make a decision. Like we're ready.
Yeah. We didn't make a decision on my last one, but I guess, do we wait for her to come around or you want me to record and we just go?
Oh, I'm already recording. I started a few minutes ago.
Oh, right. Awesome.
I mean, because it was like it's the chit chat part so that she always considered. So I wasn't concerned about it.
Okay.
So I just started recording and then I can upload it. I don't know how soon you want. I mean, I'll probably upload it in the next few days unless you need to upload it tonight for some reason, which I doubt you do. So.
Whenever you want to upload is fine.
Oh,
wow. So nice to meet you, Chloe.
Nice to meet you, Scott.
Obviously we have discussed quite a bit in terms of all that's going on tonight and the high stakes of everything, but
time to close it off for like 40 minutes.
I know. So I guess we'll go ahead and begin then.
Cool. My question is, before we start, do you want me to call you Jamie or can we just, Jamie's gender.
Since I technically am, it specifies me as a
girl. Wait,
girl.
I'm Jamie. You're Allison.
Yes, I am. You're Jamie. I'm Allison. Yes, that is true. And I technically am a female. Was
that your father's name?
I know, right? Okay, so I guess we'll go by that. Jamie, is that a guy or a girl? It says gender neutral.
Jamie Jackson? I don't know. She said they're not gender neutral? Or did she say they were?
She said they weren't, but that one can go either way. But
I'm assuming Jamie's a woman, which is like, I shouldn't assume it's a woman, but like.
Okay, mine is definitely female. It says that, so.
Mine, I don't think says that I'm what gender I am, but I'm gonna just go with woman.
Okay, cool.
I relate the most.
All right.
Perfect. So how are you feeling with the new job and the casino project?
I'm feeling okay. I first wanted to begin by saying thank you for the opportunity. I do love working with my team, and we had talked about a bunch of the ideas of expanding the business, and in initiating a new game for adults online. And I'm happy you gave the project to me and took it under, and wanted to sit down and get to chat and get to know how you're doing and what you think.
Awesome. So there are a few little things I want to address tonight, and I want you to know that it's not from a standpoint of like you being in trouble per se, but just more of constructive criticism and advice, just being the VP and have been doing this for a long time and seeing how things work. So the first thing I kind of wanted to talk with you about tonight is how we've kind of had some employment turnover in your department since you become manager. And I just didn't know how you feel about that, and if you have any thing to say about it.
Sure. As again, we have a great team. In terms of the employment turnover, it happened to do with a lot of employees leaving for their own different terms, or like a job opportunity becoming available elsewhere. So in a way, a lot of it was just strictly coincidental. And yeah, but that is something that has definitely happened.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to talk to you about that because I know we did have an employee leave without me even really having any notice of it. They were just gone.
Right.
So I didn't know if you had a chance to talk to them and figure out what their reasons were for leaving. I just know I personally walked by and overheard a conversation you were having with one of your employees, kind of talking to them about the job were doing on one of the programs, and you did not seem satisfied, and it did seem as if you were coming off very direct, a little harsh. So from my perspective, I don't want to assume anything, but it kind of seemed like there was conflict there. So I didn't know if that was part of the reason for the term, for why they chose to leave, or if it purely was a coincidental kind of issue.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate the feedback with that. Obviously, there was a little technical issue going on, and we were kind of filled with deadlines. We wanted to make sure that we were accomplishing that when it was occurring at that moment. And, there might have been a time or two that situations have gotten heated. But yeah, our goal is to get things done as in a satisfactory date or timeline to fit within our budgeted plan that we have. But things are looking good so far, and so far the team is good. I know that one individual, though, pursued another career with another firm. And
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I totally get how with deadlines and everything, there can be the heat of the moment and all that. I think from an upper level management perspective, the advice I'd give to you is if it does get heated to kind of take a step back
Okay.
or come back to the conversation. That's a good way to go about it. And also, of course, you need to tell your employees how to improve and how to do better. But I also think it is important to give constructive criticism and say and also kind of pat it. I know it seems kind of sugarcoating, but at the end of the day, be like, hey, you're doing great at this, but I think you can improve on this by doing this. So
Okay.
instead of just being like, hey, this sucked, I mean, some people work well with that, but most people are not going to be cool with that. And a lot of employees do want to be better, and they want to be in the position you're in one day. So it's always helpful to try and give them, more constructive feedback, so that they can learn to grow and not just know that they did something wrong, but then learn how to fix their mistakes in the future.
Sure. Great. Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's a great way to move forward. We're all here on the same team, and we want to accomplish a quality product for our customers. And I'm really excited for this next part. So yeah.
Awesome. So in regards to the casino project, obviously you have not really worked on anything outside the realm of kids games before.
Correct.
And family friendly stuff. So I know that this is kind of out of your scope of, normalness for you. even though I know that's not a word. But I am just curious of how you think it's going. If you feel as if the other managers are being helpful, if you've been able to implement any of the ideas they had or really consider them, or if you just kind of were running off on your own agenda.
Sure. We certainly have gotten critique and criticism from other managers, and we do appreciate any input, first of all, and want to make sure that we're working together as a team. We did get the feeling, while a lot of it we do agree with, that a lot of the discussion was kind of based off of personal opinion rather than the focus of what clients want. For example, like we did a little bit of research of we wanted to go more of a family atmosphere, and there was a broad opinion of this is not family atmosphere. So what we decided to do was focus our research on, I had some of my team research and even check out what the situation is today in Las Vegas, and things have massively shifted, and our studies have kind of confirmed this new approach. In spite of the data, we have felt a little bit of pushback from other people within the firm here, of feeling that their view, their paradigm of the situation is still correct in spite of the data that we've kind of put forward. But our goal is to try to give an accurate, enjoyable experience of that. Again, I'm extremely happy for any constructive criticism, especially based in fact. But if it's, we just want to try to avoid what could be misconstrued opinions that's more focused on inwardly rather than what my goal is to look at the clients. And I appreciate you mentioning, yeah, this is a new avenue for me. I know I focus on kids, but I'm excited because I will bring a fresh look that's not, biased, and more kind of trying to encompass what Las Vegas or this family-friendly gambling atmosphere could be like.
Yeah, and that's kind of why, one of the reasons why I went with you is because I do think that you had a fresh take on this and had a vision you could bring to the table. And always research is important, and it's good to know. I mean, I haven't been to Vegas in years, so I don't know the current setting of Vegas. I've never spent a significant amount of time there. But at the same time, I think we need to realize that there is kind of this traditional view of what casino games are going to be like. And I think there's a way to make it follow like kind of the traditional viewpoint without making it too, I mean, like for lack of better words, cutesy. So, we don't have to have like strippers on the screen dancing around and carrying like drinks, but at the same time, I don't think we should like, have it be completely appropriate for like a toddler to see. I mean, I think there's a definite fine line there between it being appropriate for all ages, but still feeling like an adult game, since our market is going to probably be single, middle-aged to younger men that are just, sadly probably playing it while they're at work when they don't want to be doing their work. Yeah. So we do need to target those people, but I do think there's a way to do it strategically to make it appropriate for all ages as well.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely agree. We want to make sure we're encompassing a quality product for our clients.
Perfect. And I mean, that's the thing, is we need to be able to market it as best as we can. And while we're talking about marketing, I know you did go and have a conversation with the marketing department. And I appreciate you trying to put in the effort to find out more research about the project so that you're not just kind of going in blind. But at the same time, they're really busy and they have a lot going on. So in the future, instead of just going directly to them, I know I've been busy too, so I do understand like you not wanting to bother me, but I would appreciate it if you could come and speak to me, and then I can relay the message over to the department, so that there's like, some communication there, because I was kind of blindsided by that and then had to have a conversation that put me in an uncomfortable position. Okay. So, and I know you probably did not mean for that to happen whatsoever, and you were just had your best intentions there. But in the future, if you could relay with me before going to have a conversation with other partnering departments, that would be really helpful.
You got it. I totally understand.
Thank you. That would be great. So what I do want to discuss too is how I've had people come up to me, and I understand that you're new in this position and it's hard, but a lot of people feel that your opinions are very strong, and that, which is important to have like strong will and opinion, but they don't feel like you're willing to be open to other people's ideas and integrate them. And it's kind of like your way or the highway, which I don't necessarily see from you, but I just need to make sure that because one of the best things you had about being a programmer is you were really creative, and you did have some, like, programmers have some sort of creative freedom. And I want to make sure that the programmers working for you still have that creative freedom that you had, so that they can add their own touch to it. And I know that these projects are newer for you, and you just recently got this role, so you want everything to be perfect. But at the end of the day, we do need to give them that freedom, and not have it be like exactly what you want in your head, because someone may also have something really important to bring to the table that could really up the program or the game or the experience for the user.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm in total agreement of open communication and to do with that. And I wanted to know, I guess, is there any more information about when people specifically felt that I was being harsh or not listening in a way?
I think for me, from what I have heard, part of it was, my apologies, I'm trying to look through my notes.
Hmm?
So it had to do with your project you're working on with Bruce, and it was it was just about how you came off as very demanding and critical of his work, and like you wanted the design of the program to be your way only. And of course, like, this is just what has been relayed to me. And that you were just kind of rejecting any modifications that anyone else came up with. So I just didn't know what was going on there. And like I said, it may just be because it was one of your first projects as a manager, and you kind of just wanted to have creative control of it.
Yeah. In wanted to be open here and transparent, and I'm glad we brought up certain scenarios. There's been a couple times that I've experienced things that have been a little bit uncomfortable for me, and I'm open to any sort of feedback, criticism, and even anyone else adding topics or even content to whatever project we're working on. But what I've tended to find is, it makes me especially uncomfortable as a woman, is that there has been a couple different experiences I've had of blatant objectification of women. So in that exact example, Bruce was asking for a topless woman to represent a country in that. And that felt something inappropriate towards our client base, and something that didn't seem right, and that I had to put my foot down, because it also could harm the image of our company as well. So there has to be that thing. And then another situation was, you'd mentioned with the casinos, any other time that I'd come across harsh, there have been suggestions by a couple other men of having dancing girls as well as you said, but we heard a suggestion of having people come and getting free drinks from buxom waitresses. And I just tended to find there was a broad approach of objectification of women. And I wanted to make sure that the work I did was quality, and yeah, it may be accurate, but didn't have something, first of all, that made me feel uncomfortable, but also, as you know, looking at other firms around the country, we don't want to put our company at risk of something that could be misconstrued. Bruce is a great guy. He works hard. He does a lot of things, and every other employee here as well. But with certain things, I feel could be a liability towards that, and as well frankly makes me just slightly uncomfortable as a woman. Is that kind of a situation?
Yeah, and I thank you so much for communicating that with me, because these are things I don't know. So this is why I'm so glad we're having a conversation. Because again, as a woman, I also don't want us to put out a product with topless woman on it. And sadly, even if that's what the market would love to see, I don't want that to be a part of our brand. And if people don't use our products because of that, then honestly, I don't want them to be a part of our business. So,
All right.
um,
Makes me feel good.
yeah, yeah. So again, like come talk to me about these things because
Okay.
instead I'm just getting like Allison's shutting down my ideas. She's not even like she's making everything her way or the highway, which I mean, you're the manager. So you do get the say on that. And then of course I'll get final say. But I do think you need to continue to stand your ground. And if things are making you uncomfortable, first of all, come talk to me
Sure.
or HR and we can have a conversation about it. Second of all, yeah, like definitely consider what is going to be a liability or not. Like we don't need we don't need hookers on our game. We don't need like we can do beverages that whether they're adult or not, like there's other parts of Vegas that we could use to bring in the feel of it all without objectifying women.
Yeah.
And for the geographic game, especially for children, like it was meant for kids. I don't think that would have been appropriate. So good call on
I
that
agree.
one. Yeah, Bruce's idea was not cool. So I do think that's a good thing that we talked about, and I'm glad that we can kind of get ahead of that. So going forward with the casino project, we do need to put it out pretty fast.
Okay.
We are kind of running out of time, and I just don't think that, like, you've been doing a wonderful job. I just don't think that it is at the level we need it to be at this time. So I'm going to have you continue to work on it, but I'm going to have Scott help you with it as well because he's been with the company for several years. And of course, if he's suggesting things that are going to objectify women or make you uncomfortable, come talk to me. We'll address it and I'll talk to Scott myself and kind of shut that down and say, not going to happen. But I think it'll be good for you guys to work together because you can bring your family friendly orientation to it and his like classic male view of Vegas because it's probably going to be mostly men that are playing these games. And you guys can kind of merge those together and hopefully bring us an awesome product by the deadline. So I don't know how you're feeling about that. But I did want to address that with you so you're not just shocked when Scott comes to step in and help out a little bit.
Definitely. And then I'm always open. What I request is that any kind of thing that happens with the project, that we just have an open line of communication with all parties. I love what we're doing here, as well as Scott. I respect him. He's a great asset to this company, has great ideas, and I more than welcome him being a part of this project. I just feel there's been a time or two I've been left out of conversations in the development of this promotion. Just all I ask is, as I understand we all get busy, that we're all kept in the loop and a good understanding as well. Yeah, we're all here on the same team. We want a great product, and I totally agree.
Yeah, and I appreciate being willing and understanding why I'm bringing Scott in a little bit to help out. And I think he's going to be really helpful and can teach you a lot and give you great advice since he's been with the company for so long. I think he's seen some things that could really help out with the project, and not only that, but help you step up as a level as a manager as well. I have noticed the leaving you out of conversation with other managers, and I'm going to be having a conversation with them because I don't think that's appropriate. And I don't know if it's because you're new. I don't know if it's because you're the only woman. I don't know if it's because they're angry that you got the casino project instead of them. But whatever it is, I'm going to nip it in the bud and let them know that we all work together here. And if that's going to be a problem, then we can address it as is. But I do think that honest and open communication needs to happen. And as I said to you, I know I've been busy. But if you do feel alienated, if you do feel like you're being objectified, if there's any issue, like please come talk to me, and I want to address it because I need everyone here to be comfortable with their job and what they're doing. And at the same time, I do think that I have loved having you work on the casino project, and I think you have brought like some really wonderful things to the table. But going further after this project, I think I'm going to have you continue to focus on family-friendly kid-type games because that's where you thrive the most, and I think that's where your creative assets can be used most effectively.
Okay, yeah, I have no problem with that as long as we're working together and the strengths are done and there's like quality and conversation going on between everyone. That'd be great.
Perfect. Um, that is good to hear. Yeah, so going further, because I chose you as a manager for many reasons. You are an incredible programmer and you bring a lot to the table. And you have been at the company for 4 years already. I just want to probably check in with you in a little while to go over just management style because I know Bruce was just being gross. But I also think there is a way to handle things because I'm just a little worried about the heated conversations. I'm worried about you. And I know you want to like express yourself as a leader and that you're a manager now. And like, I get it. When you're a woman, it feels harder to kind of um, seem in a position of power because you just feel like you're already a like step down and a leg behind everyone else. So I just want to make sure that we are having communication that's productive with our colleagues and subordinates to make sure that you seem assertive but not harsh or too blunt, and that we are providing constructive criticism rather than just being critical. I think that's
Okay.
really important because I just need to see those things kind of come to the next level because even though people did choose to leave for other companies, I mean, I haven't had a conversation with them and it's not something I'd say to you. And I don't even know if it could be a thing, but they may have chosen to go to other companies because they didn't like your communication style, or like things could have happened here that made them want to search for another job or consider a job. And I'm not saying that that's the case at all, but I do think that because you are a new manager, we have a lot of room to grow, and I want to see you grow and be the best manager as possible because I want to, you are a product of my creation, and as much as I want you to look good for the company, I also want you to look good for yourself. If you ever have future roles or opportunities with or without us, I want you to be the best manager that you possibly can. So I think that we just need to kind of work on our communication style when we're frustrated or feeling differently than others.
Understand. Definitely. I agree. I think that sounds good.
Awesome. Is there any other issues you're having currently in the office or with your colleagues that you want to address or talk about, or the casino project?
No, it's just I want to make sure there's adequate inclusion with everyone, whether it's external event that occurs, that everyone's involved, that whether there's communication that goes on anywhere, depending, it could be the casino project, it could be any kids project, that I'm kept in the loop, not pushed outside, and even in brainstorming projects as well. And yeah, it's, I guess this next part, I just wanted to make sure that everything is just great in terms of how I'm performing and compared to everyone else, and that you're happy with what you're doing. And I understand that we're going to work on communication and everything else, and I think that sounds pretty good.
Yeah. So performance wise, it's a little I mean, obviously you've been a manager that's been with the company the least amount of time, so you've had programs that you've been working with kids programs specifically, and kids programs generally have less of a market than Immortal Kombat or Galactic Carnage, which is gonna meet a market of women and men of many ages that love to play those games. So obviously the revenues from those programs that you've created are lower than our highest programs, but it's also because kids are a way smaller market segment.
Okay.
But as I've said, you thrive with the kid area, and we love that. And I've loved giving you an opportunity with the casino project. But like I've already stated, I'm probably going to keep you in kids for a little bit longer to see you grow and be the best that you can be in that area before we move forward with more stuff outside of your scope and comfort zone. Along with the communication, we've talked about that and how there's room for improvement there, but I do have hope that you can and believe that you can, change that. And I understand that you're probably overwhelmed being a new manager and then also having these new projects, and then you've had 2 employees quit, and it's just a whole bunch of moving pieces. I also just want to make sure, along with open communication, that we're taking other people's ideas and really considering them and considering using them. Now, again, if it's a topless woman situation, you just garbage it, not worth it. But I really do want to make sure that others feel like when they are offering up ideas to you, that you're actually listening and actively listening and hearing them, and make them feel as if you're really going to consider doing a variation of it or including it into your projects.
Okay, I agree. I think that all sounds good.
Awesome.
Okay, yeah, so I agree. We're going to work together on communication, inclusion, and making sure I'm fulfilling a kind of growth pathway that you view with my strengths as well. And again, I appreciate the opportunity to work on this. I look forward to working with Scott and with that, and seeing us grow as a company and as a team. And I'm happy to be a part of this team. I just want to make sure that I'm treated fairly and equitably compared to other people, as well as, compensated, as well as anything else with that. I just want to be an equal contribution within the team, and we should be good and set to go.
Yeah, and along the lines of compensation, obviously compensation will increase with your number of years here, along with the amount of revenue that your programs are creating. And the more programs you create over time, there's going to be more revenue. So that's only going to go up as time goes on as well. So I don't want you to worry about that, because it's obviously like performance-based, but also has to do with tenure and that kind of thing. I'm trying to think about one more thing that you addressed that I wanted to make sure I address. Oh, I know. It's, I just want to go over one more time, the understanding the communication level between, like, going between different departments. Just to make sure that that they're busy and it's just easier. It's kind of like when you are in a restaurant, you can't have the server just talk to the executive chef. He's busy, he's making the dishes, it's just not going to work. You have to have the server talk to the expediter, who then can communicate with the kitchen. And you have to have that middleman, and I'm that middleman between other departments. So if we could just make sure to come say hi to the middleman, then I can do it for you, or we can address an appropriate way to go about it so that no one feels overwhelmed in the process.
I agree. I love it. More communication is something I'm a huge fan of, so I look forward to that.
Perfect. Wonderful. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about today?
Nope. Kind of just as in a recap, we're going to work with communication. Obviously, the new role with I'm going under. I've been looking forward to working with Scott. And thanks for hearing me out in terms of the previous issues. And I'm glad to grow together with all this, and thanks for meeting down and opening up with all this. Again, I appreciate it. I look up to your work and being with a part of this team, and look forward to seeing what we can do together.
Yeah, absolutely. Communication is absolutely the key. That's the only way we're going to be productive. Whether it's good or bad, we need to have all communication. It's going to make things flow. It's going to make a better work environment. And obviously, I'm here for you. Everything you say to me is confidential. I'm not going to go and yell at Bruce and be like, why are you suggesting topless women? Okay, like, let's not do that. But of course, if things need to be addressed, I will address them. And I appreciate you being willing to work with Scott, and I'm excited to see what you guys can do together to finish off this casino project. I'm really excited to see what the results are going to be. And I'm really excited to see you thrive in the kids area and see what else you can bring, because Trouble was pretty cool. And it was an awesome creative thing to, help kids learn in a fun way how to call for help when they need to. So
yeah, I look forward to it.
Awesome.
All right, well, thanks for having me in, and I'll look forward to our next meeting.
Yeah, me too.
All right.